For player 2, often you'll see her in the order as well. 2-1, big hack and a miss for Vaughn.
You know, and that's a good point. There's a lot of pitchers throughout the country that their main priority is playing second base in this game. Really, Notre Dame rotates their second baseman depending on if Tidd is in the circle or not. Saw Miranda Johnson in game 1 when Tidd was in the DP slot. In this game, Tidd starts in the circle, so Marquez goes to second base. It's very impressive that Notre Dame plays as high level of defense as they do with rotating what I believe is one of the toughest infield positions to play at second base. A lot of thinking, a lot of decision making.
This team, and you see this player who's got all these impressive stats, and then she comes out on the field and kind of acts like, you know, I got this, cool, calm, collected. It's like harder. It's kind of like poker. It's harder to call her number. It's harder to pick out her weakness, poke holes in her, because you don't ever know when you're getting to her.
You mentioned Jacobson batting, had 2 home runs yesterday. This is the problem for the Jackets. You walk Cagle, you got 2 outs, but it just doesn't get any easier. Batter after batter after batter.
That's fair. That's fair. If you're going to issue a walk.
1 out, and here comes Conley. She was hacking at the first pitch.
As I mentioned earlier, Coach Eileen Morales always talks very highly of her players to say they're going to go on into careers and make a lot more money than her. Those are her words.
Yeah.
And she's proud of that because she gets to be a part of that development. So when you see these up-and-coming softball players in the crowd, you smile because now they have representation. They know
tonight.
Well, both teams talk so much about how they anticipated the start of this series, and it is finally here as Kaylee Mudge leads things off for Florida State. At the top of this lineup, it's Mudge and then Flaherty. Between the two of them, you're looking at 27 stolen bases. Keep a close eye on Katie Dack, the transfer, who's got a team-high 8 home runs this year. Mac Leonard with plenty of pop in the bottom.
She's only had 2 balls lifted to the outfield, so the infield is definitely ready to pounce on anything coming their way, knowing how quickly she gets down the line. It's got to be a quick transfer.
And Kayla Bro step right now.
Feeling good, feeling good.
That's up high. I think the biggest thing today from throwback throwdown is if any of our papers or any of us don't end up on the field being blown off our perch.
I think of all the years I've been here, this might be one of the windiest days I have ever experienced.
Incredibly closely contested that game was, and you spoke about it in the Open, Sammy, where there is this kind of postseason feeling even here in late March.
These are 2 teams that have really emerged and developed a strong rivalry here in conference play.
It's something they're sporadically exposed to and have the ability to utilize before it is mandatory in 2025.
Yeah, you look at a program like a Northwestern and even a Michigan State, right, saying this year we're going to do it in every contest at our home field. They're trying to get ready to get their teams, to get their players to understand what this opens up in terms of gameplay, right? We now have it in every postseason.
The All-American from a season ago having an even better year if that's possible. And it is possible, Amanda, when you look. 2.26 ERA as a freshman, even better as a sophomore. Reagan Kramer.
Bajon gets behind here in an 0-2 hole. Really highly touted freshman, one of the highest ranked recruits in the country.
54 miles an hour. This is the same location we saw at 65 miles an hour.
C.R. Briggs, now the batter for the Tigers, sees the first pitch in for a strike. Briggs and Coffey both starting off the game with singles. Their first at bat.
I keep seeing all these foul balls, and even looking back into what Coffey and Briggs did in the first inning of this game. This dirt is hard. This field is hard. This playing surface is a breeding ground for those high chopper slaps for these lefties. That would be my approach. If I'm Briggs and Coffey, I'm pounding the ball into the ground, and I'm running for days.
Green, who reached on the error by Isaiah
in ACC play.
And Rachel Castine is a sophomore, but not a lot of experience behind the plate.
I would like to see her receive that with thumb underneath the ball to try to sell that pitch and get it as a strike. As soon as a catcher turns that glove over with fingers to the ground, it is one of those indicative factors to an umpire that that ball is too low and out of the strike zone. So you have to sell that back behind the plate.
Full count to Brooks. Right side of the infield will advance the runner. Low throw from